Well, good morning. Scott Campbell, Christian pastor in French Quebec. And it has really been a while since I have made a video. A lot has happened. Last year, 2024, was extremely busy. In fact, I am a retired pastor in French Quebec. Our church for many years had been searching for a younger pastoral couple, and God provided that couple. And so in March of 2024, Nancy and I stepped down and we began the process of retiring, which took about another 6 months. I visited supporters and people who had been behind us for many years, some almost 4 decades, almost 40 years. And so we are still living in Laval, Quebec. And after a 9 month absence, we have rejoined the church as committed and involved members. And so now the question that people ask, and I ask myself, is well, what does retirement look for you? And one thing I did before I retired was I wrote about 15 different uh, retired pastors, some retired business people, and said, "Hey, asked questions. How did retirement affect your view of yourself, your personal identity? How did it affect your marriage, your children? How did it affect how you use your time, how you spent your money?" So I asked a bunch of questions and got some really, really good feedback that helped me begin to, I think, adjust well to retirement. One of the first uh, notes, that important ones, came from my brother-in-law, who said, "Watch out! Now that you're retired, everybody's going to want you to be involved in this, be involved in that." And he said, "Be careful because you can start committing yourself, and all of a sudden you've retired and you're overcommitted. You're more busy than you were when you were working a full time job." So I was cautious. I was very, very cautious and have been cautious. And I've just added a few things, a few activities here and there, and I'm pleased with that. It's, I mean, there's like a discussion in the Christian community. Does retirement even exist, really, for a Christian? And 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 I just say yes and no. I mean, yes, in the idea of slowing down. Already, I was seeing my energy decrease, and I think there is a time that we retire from, the 45, 50 hours a week, and we slow down some. There's a shifting of priorities. For us, it's been spending more time with grandchildren and our children. Um, so I think there is a retirement, but I think the answer is kind of no, in the sense, uh, for the Christian, it doesn't just mean, oh, now it's thinking of myself and just traveling, or just being involved in pleasurable activities, in leisure activities. Um, I think we're still called to be involved and still give our lives away. And a verse that's encouraged me in this comes out of Psalm 92. Um, it talks about uh, godly people, people who are spiritual and truly in connection with God. For us Christians, it means we're in connection with God through Jesus Christ, His Son, who His Spirit lives in us. And so it says that we are transplanted in the Lord's own house. This is Psalm 92, 13 to 15. And those people will flourish in the courts of their God. Even in old age, they will still produce fruit and they will remain vital and green. I like that. I like this idea. What it's saying here, obviously, an analogy to trees, to fruit, that if we stay connected, we can stay vital. One version says we'll still have sap, SAP, right, in our veins, and we will still see fruit, and we can do that. And there's still a call for us to be involved. Younger men and women need mentors. They need examples of people persevering to the end. Um, and we can be that. Those of us in our 60s and our 70s, even in our 80s. So I'm trying to follow those verses and just carefully choosing what to be involved with, and saying, God, continue to use my life. Continue to use my life. You say you will. You say I will continue to produce fruit. Well, that's what I like to see. So now I will be Scott Campbell, the uh, retired pastor missionary in French Quebec. Bye bye.